Hello, good morning. I'm Nandita Banerjee, the author of the supernatural drama number 7. It's a two-book series comprising number 7, They're Calling, and number 7, The Date. My protagonists, Priya and Ravi Gupta, live in their charmed house, number 7 in Houston, Texas. However, their house is built on a sacred site and comes with a moral code and a warning. Take care. The house is special. Life is more than perfect for decades until Priya's friend Hema's book arrives at the house. What's wrong with the book? Let us find out from the excerpt I'm about to read from the first book of the series. Number 7, They're Calling. Calcutta, 1964. At last, my sister Dia's wedding was over and we returned to Calcutta. With both my parents resting after the long journey back from our ancestral home, I did not waste a minute before packing my friend Hema a basket. The delicious sweetmeats from the wedding tatwa were her favorite, but they weren't enough. On second thought, I pinched my new brocade frock from the suitcase and thrust it in. Hema would be thrilled. She had the looks but no nice clothes. What wouldn't I do to see her smile? Without a sound, I sneaked out of our house and dashed into Hema's backyard. I wouldn't be a minute. Ma would not even know. She's so mean to that family, especially now that Hema is ill. Not even Dadu's death a fortnight ago has mellowed her. I heard Hema's deep, hollow cough and stumbled at their gate. I wondered what had happened to her, whether she would ever get well. Nobody would tell me, though I had overheard Ma mention to people that she knew of strange goings on in the old house that could have caused her illness. I had never seen anything, nor did I care. Hema's mother, who I called Mashi because she was like an aunt to me, welcomed me with a tired laugh. Priya, thank goodness you're back. Hema has been pining for you. How is she? I asked, concerned. The same. I slipped into Hema's room where she lay in a ball in the middle of her bed with her back to the door, a duck with its bill buried in its feathers. I stroked her head. Hey, missed you. A ghost of a smile creased her bony face as she turned over. Oh, it's you. Who did you think? My giggle gave way to a shudder. Hema's dim, sunken eyes frightened the living daylights out of me. When did she become like this? Why do you look at me like that? Hema's voice sounded like a strained foghorn. I was just thinking how pretty you would look in my new brocade frock. I yanked it out of the basket. Look, this is what I wore on Dia's wedding day. You can try it on if you like, or even keep it. Ma won't notice. I will distract her with old pictures of Dadu. Hema ignored the dress. Why? What happened to him? I felt a trifle hurt. Don't you like my dress? Tell me about your Dadu. Hema grabbed the dress from me and shoved it back into the basket. He died early morning after Dia's wedding. How? He was in bed, like you, for months. Hema's face contorted like all her facial muscles twisted at once. Was he very ill? He had a heart attack. The words did not make sense, so I moved on to something I couldn't wait to share with her. Ma saw the ghost of her aunt under his window staring up at him just before he passed. Hema sprang up on her bed, more energetic than I had seen her in the last couple of months. Just his sister? Yes, just her. I enjoyed her attention. That's what Ma told Baba. The spirit came to take Dadu away to the land of the dead because he was so ill. Baba scoffed at the idea. He said it thought it ridiculous. I saw Hema's lips tighten. She is not amused. I watched her slip her arm under her pillow to pull out her right and wrong exercise book that Miss Wilson, our class teacher, called the moral science book. Was she even listening to me? I leaned forward. Papa wouldn't believe Mark could see such things, and I don't either. Do you? Of course I do. Hema flipped through the pages of her book. I will show you. I had no idea what she was talking about. Not like we had any homework on the subject. Miss Wilson always began and completed the activities while the Catholics were at catechism. There. She showed me some new pictures she had drawn immediately after the 7 pages of her illustrations of the creation story. Who are these? The spirits and me. I squinted at the girl in the first picture. She had long plaits like Hema and her thick eyelashes. The ceiling fan spun relentlessly overhead. The breeze turned over the leaves of Hema's book. There were drawings on the next page and the next, silhouettes and Hema. I focused on the dark shapes. They got sharper on each page while Hema's self-portraits became fuzzy under her heavy scribbling. My heart did a somersault. She won't die. No one said she would. I just wondered at her dull tracing paper pallor and the bags under her eyes, just like Ladu before he passed. Hema pointed to the ghosts in her pictures. They are like what your mother saw before your Dadu died. I see them all the time. They are shadows. They move around in this room. I thought you were one of them, and then I heard your voice. I bit my nails. When did you start seeing them? She blinked. Since you left for your sister's wedding, I was lonely. Did you tell Mashi? A teardrop snaked down Hema's cheek. Yes, the first time. She was so upset she couldn't speak. Later that night, I heard her talk to the doctor on the phone. She said what your mother did about our loved ones coming back from the other world for us. Then she cried. She said she knew the illness would take me, but that she didn't expect it to be so soon. I flinched. Is Hema close to death because the spirits are coming? Is that how you tell? I studied the sketches, all nearly the same. They were a set of 6 pictures, each one on a new page. The pages were numbered 1 to 6, possibly to set them apart from the previous illustrations. But they don't look like real people. Do you even know them? Yes, the first was my father, the second my brother. But they don't look like that. I pointed to their framed photographs on the wall. I did the best I could. I'm not an artist. Hema touched her throat. You must tell Mashi. Can you please pass me my flask from the study table? I did. Hema gurgled down a few spasms of water and then continued in a whisper. She will only freak out. The ghosts aren't really bad. She eased an old family album from under her bedsheet and lovingly stroked each of its yellowed pages. They're all in here. They play with me all night when they visit. The nights are so long and lonely. They're nice and kind. And I love being with them. But when they tell me I must come away with them, she stared at me vacantly, absorbed in her own thoughts. I picked up the album. It was full of her baby pictures with her brother, her parents, her nana, nanny, dadu, didu. I peered at each one and recognized all the faces, except one with gleaming black eyes, crooked white teeth, and an oversized hood that covered most of his forehead. Who's this? I asked. Uncle Dev, my mother's brother. How come I've never seen him? He ran away after I was born. He's not dead, is he? No, I don't think so. Do you think he'll come for you if he is? Hema gripped her pencil, turned to the back of her book, and scribbled a note that I could read upside down. I can't go. I must hang on for my mother. She isn't well. I've heard her cry in pain at night. I think it's her chest. But she won't tell me, and she won't spend a penny on herself. It's always me, my food, my medicines. She lives for me since my father and brother passed. A sob escaped Hima's lips. Her hand shook. The pencil rolled from her fingers. I kissed her sunken cheeks. You will go nowhere. I will protect you. I will come around for sleepovers every night until we go back to school. Ma won't even know. There's still a week left of the summer holidays. Mashi rushed in. What is the matter, Hema? Why are you crying? I pointed to the open book on her bed. She sees ghosts. Hema's mother hugged her. Hema, Beti, there is no such thing as ghosts. Yet you believe in them yourself. I heard you tell the doctor that Baba's spirit came for me, that my days were numbered. Hema's words were arrested by her dry, hacking cough. That was when you first told me. Yes, there is a superstition that the dead return for their loved ones when it is. Mashi's voice caught. Time for them to die. I finished the sentence for her. Mashi bit her lower lip so hard it bled. But Hema is still with us. She wiped her mouth with her sari pallu. So Hema is safe. Does that mean she won't die? I am not the same, and you know it. Hema scowled at the mirror opposite her bed. Can't you see? You should have seen Priya's expression when she came in. Her mother looked away. My eyes stung. If only I could disguise my feelings. No, Hema, I was just sad that we didn't get back sooner. The phone rang. Hema's mother didn't pick up. That must be your mother, she said. Run. I sighed and pulled out my dress from my basket and laid it on the bed. Hema, you can have this. I will not wear that dress. Take it away. She stared at herself in the mirror. I look like Cinderella's ugly stepsisters. Much worse than I looked after number 5. 5? Her mother gasped. I flinched. I saw other ghosts after the first, Ma, Hema whispered. And each time a new one arrived, I felt worse than before. I didn't want to tell you because you would be upset. Hema broke into a terrible cough that robbed her of her breath. She has seen 6 ghosts, I said. Look in her book. Mashi peered into the book. Her restless hands fingered the pictures. When she spoke, her voice was tiny. Why would they come to her? She's all I've got. Don't worry, Ma. They haven't been able to take me. I was strong, but I don't know about number 7. My stomach flipped. I swung around. The number of completion. Hema nodded. The last one. That one will kill her. My tongue spoke before I could stop it. Do you think it will be Uncle Dev? Hema cast a furtive glance at her mother. He is not dead. Mashi evaded my eyes. But it's got to be someone who's dead and is close to Hema. Nonsense, Mashi sprang up. How can you be so sure? 7 always completes a process. My 6-year-old tongue blurted out. Miss Wilson said, and Hema is dying. Number 7 will come and finish what number 1 began. I flipped through the pages of creation in Hema's book. When God created the world, he finished it in 7 days. Mashi swallowed. 7 is also a happy number. God finished the world in 7 days, and that was an accomplishment. The rainbow is a beautiful reminder of God's goodness. If a 7 spirit comes at all, it should cure Hema. Hema interrupted her. Ma, Priya is right. They come for me all right. But they're nice. Not just Baba, Dada, but also Nana, Nani, Dadu, Didu. Hema spoke so quietly I had to strain my ears to listen. Since I learned about my illness, all those long and lonely nights, the spirits have watched me cry myself to sleep. And when I have struggled, they have taken turns to hold me in their arms. And when the golden pink hues of dawn have streaked the dark skies, their dull and glazed eyes have brightened as if with life. Only I have felt tired, so tired, completely drained. She exploded into a fit of vicious coughing that racked her tiny body. Mashi gave her a throat lozenge and hugged her tight. You should have told me about this long ago. I would never have allowed them to come near you. Neither would I. Nasty creatures! I squinted at the figures in Hema's book. They're sucking her life spirit out of her. The phone rang again. Mashi picked up and whispered, Your mother. I scampered off, mindful of the consequences for my nonconformity, pages of Bengali spellings to learn and worksheets to practice in Bengali grammar. So that's our two 6-year-olds, Priya and Hema. What becomes of little Hema? Does she really die? To find out, you must read on. And I must assure you that you will not be disappointed. For, in addition to being a supernatural drama, number 7 is packed with mystery and suspense, elements of culture, finely crafted characters, and delicious plotlines that will keep you wanting more. The two books are both available on Amazon, and if you want to know more about the books or the inspiration behind them, do visit me on my author page and my blog. They're teeming with interesting details. Thank you.